Facebook. And I see John here. John, hello.
Hello.
Hey guys, so we have a special guest today. Sorry. We got a special guest today. John was the challenge champion for the 90-day language challenge in Czech back in June, and he's going to come on in a bit and discuss how he uses LingQ, how he finds content, and generally just share his advice because he's a pretty successful user. So I think he probably has some good advice for you guys. So welcome, John. Thanks for coming.
No problem.
All right. So I'm just going to check real quick if we are indeed live on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for being patient, everybody. All right, we are up on YouTube. All right, we are up. And Facebook too. So welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Zoom. This is the week 6 of the live stream series for the September 90-day challenge. And today we're going to discuss using Netflix and YouTube on LingQ to learn a language, how to import content, and tips for finding content. And we have a special guest with us. John was the Czech champion for the June 90-day language challenge, and he's going to come on in a bit and share his advice for you guys on how he's been using LingQ, and he's been using it very successfully to learn Czech. So yeah, let's get into it. So for those who maybe are new to LingQ, one of the most powerful features of LingQ is the ability to import content from around the web to study a language, learning with content, you know, that you choose. So if you're interested in, you know, for instance, I've been recently learning a lot about the brain, about neuroscience, and I've taken YouTube videos on that topic in Spanish to learn Spanish. So it's a pretty cool way, you know, rather than, let's say, some other language learning apps where there's really only one set path and you got to follow it, and that can kind of get boring. But with LingQ, you know, there's really endless possibilities on how you can, on what kind of things you can learn with. So in order to import content from YouTube or Netflix, you have to download the LingQ import extension. And I will go ahead and paste the links to those extensions. And we have extensions for Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Edge. So all the popular browsers. And I just posted it in there on Zoom, and I'll post it on Facebook and YouTube. All right. So once you have the LingQ importer extension downloaded, I'm going to share my screen here. So I've got the import extension downloaded. I'm going to go to Netflix and show you how to import a lesson. So I'm watching this Netflix series. It's a drama about the life of Simón Bolívar, who is was a leader, a Venezuelan leader who he's like the almost, people would say, the George Washington of South America. He freed a lot of nations in South America from Spain. And I'm watching this Netflix series about his life. So what I'm going to do, I got the Netflix episode open in my Chrome browser. And John, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Just making sure. So I'm going to click on the extensions and I'm going to choose link importer. And then we get this little pop-up here. And I had already created a course for this Netflix series. So you can see these are all the courses that I created. And if you haven't created a course yet, then you can just click new course and then type in a new course. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to click import. And Link is taking the subtitles from Netflix, making a lesson, and then I'll click open lesson. I gotta log in here. Now I am part of the beta user group, so it's opening in the Link beta, Link 5.0 beta. So for most of you, it would just open in the Link 4.0. So I'm gonna go into the regular Link 4.0 just to show you how it'll look for most of you. So I go into my lessons. And here we go. Here's the course that I created for this Netflix series. And we just created the episode 2. Now, because the episodes of this Netflix series are, 50 minutes long, Link automatically splits the episode into 2 different lessons here, just because it's so long. So we have season 1, episode 2, 1, season 1, episode 2, 2. And for those of you who are maybe new to Link, I'll just give you a really quick intro to how Link works. So once I open up a lesson here, and I'm viewing this has pulled the subtitles from Netflix and created a lesson out of it. Now, if we see a word that is highlighted in yellow, that is called a link. That means I've created this. Previously, when I opened up the lesson, it was a new word. And then once I click on, so I'll skip ahead here. Some of these words are blue. So a blue word means I haven't seen it before. In all the lessons that I've been doing on Link, I've never seen this word. So when I click on that, I choose a definition, or if I already know a word, if I already know the word, then I can click I know this word, boom. And then it won't add to my collection of links because I already know it, but it will increase my known words count, which you can see up here. So I don't know this word, so I'm going to choose this. There we go. And the goal when you create a link is to move it over to known. So as you open up more lessons and you see these words in yellow and you become more familiar with it, you're going to move it from 1 to 2, 3, 4 into known. So you're creating new links, which are new vocab words. And then as you become more familiar with it, you're going to move it over into known. So that is the basics of how Link works. Now, let me check if we have any questions. See, someone on Zoom asks, where do I find the extensions? So up in the, okay, sorry guys, I didn't send that link to everybody. All right, so in Zoom, I have linked to the Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Edge extensions. And The Firefox extension is down right now. We're working on it, so sorry for that. So if you use Firefox, it's not going to work right now, but we're working on it, so we should have a solution very soon. But on Chrome, Safari, and Edge, it is working fine. Okay. So that's the basics of how to import a lesson from Netflix. Now with YouTube, it really works the same way. So I'll go over here into YouTube, and I like to kind of focus my learning at a specific point in time around one subject. So I'm going to look up videos about Simon Bolivar, the protagonist of the Netflix series I'm watching. And I'm going to scroll down here. Now, something to keep in mind on YouTube, you want to find videos that have closed captions, or else it's not going to work. So I'm going to go over here into filters once I do my YouTube search, and I'm going to click subtitles. I have this account is in Spanish because I want the YouTube algorithm to recommend me videos in Spanish. But whatever language you're doing, you got to make sure that the video has subtitles. All right, so I'm going to choose this one, 9 minutes. And I know some of these, I've already been through this. I've already been through these. So I know that some of these videos are actually in English, and I don't want that. I want videos that are in Spanish and that have subtitles in Spanish. So another thing to check on with YouTube, ideally, we want subtitles that are manually created. A lot of videos have automatically created subtitles, and they're just not as accurate as manually. The automatically created subtitles are not as accurate as manually created subtitles. So in English, if your browser is in English, we can see here, it would say automatically generated. So in Spanish, generado automáticamente. Okay. Now I'm going to choose the manually created subtitles in Español, in Spanish, and you can see they have subtitles for a bunch of different languages here. But I want to choose videos that are produced in my target language and have subtitles, because I also want to listen to the videos after I do it on LingQ. So same thing that we're going to do with Netflix. We're going to click the extension here, click the LingQ importer, and I'm going to choose a different course, because this isn't the Netflix. So I'm just going to create a new course and call it Historia de America Latina, History of Latin America, and import. And boom, the lesson. I'm not going to click open lesson, because that'll go to the beta app. I want to go back over in here into LingQ 4.0. And I should find my lesson. And it works just as well on the mobile app. So if you're watching YouTube videos on your phone, see, here we go. Got this lesson here. If you're watching YouTube videos on your phone, and let me pull up my phone here, you could also import lessons into LingQ. So here we go. Here's a YouTube video. I'm going to click that share. I'm going to click that share button, and that's going to open up some options for apps to share it to. And I'm going to scroll over and click this more. I don't know if you could see that well. Boom, more. And that'll give me options for more apps to open it with, to share it to. And if I scroll over, you can see LingQ there. And it's the same thing. It'll pull up a it'll pull up a import lesson window, and you just fill out the information and create a lesson. So it works the same on mobile as it does on a desktop, except on desktop you need the browser extension. On your mobile phone, if you have LingQ downloaded, the first time you try to import a lesson from YouTube, you just click share, and then you choose the options for the app to choose, and you choose LingQ. All right, so we got a question from Svetlana on Zoom. Can I use the course you created? Where and how do you find it? So that is a really good question. Right now, you should be able to. So you should be able to use the course that I created. And what you're going to do, it's not going to be in my lessons, but it'll be in the library. And you can just search for the particular course. So if I search Historia de Latin America, and we're going to change the levels to all so that we can see everything. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I'm not sure if you can. I think what I will have to do, I will have to make the course that I created public. So then you'll be able to see it. So, oh, thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I put in the wrong name. Okay, so I searched the right name and I still can't find it. I think what I'll have to do is make the course public. Now, when we come out with LingQ 5.0, it's going to be a little different, because technically, a lot of these YouTube videos, and especially Netflix, there are copyright issues. So while we can't explicitly share lessons, we can simply share links to the YouTube videos, and then you can go and import the lesson yourself. So that's just to be compliant with the rules and regulations regarding sharing other people's content. So a lot of these, LingQ has a huge library of content in a bunch of languages. Obviously, some languages have less content than others, just because they're less popular. So in order for us to share lessons compliantly, we can't actually share the content. So in LingQ 5.0, we're just going to share links to the YouTube videos that other people imported, and then that will be very easy for you to import yourself. Okay, so Matt on Zoom asks, when is LingQ 5.0 being released? I can't give you a solid answer on that. I would love this to be able to, but when it comes to creating software, it's just it's very complex. A lot of issues come up all the time, so I can't really give you a clear answer, but it's getting closer and closer. So. Okay, so someone on Zoom asked, why can't some YouTube videos with subtitles be imported? All YouTube videos with subtitles can be imported. However, it's better to choose videos with manually generated subtitles and not auto-generated subtitles. And Jane on Zoom asks, how can we set YouTube to our target language? So what I did is just create a new YouTube account for my Spanish learning. So I'll go ahead and see here. Right here, I'm logged into the LingQ account, and then I created a new YouTube account that has my last name spanish.espanol@gmail.com. So all the videos I watch here are in Spanish, and now YouTube will recommend me new videos in Spanish based on the interest that I have shown YouTube that I'm interested in. Okay, and I see Justin on Facebook asked, when I create a lesson, is it available to everyone? In other words, should we search lessons before creating new ones so that we don't add duplicates? So I would definitely recommend, yeah, go ahead and search the library to find if a lesson you're trying to create is already there. And yeah, you'll have to make the lesson public in order for everyone to be able to see it. So. All right, and I want to share with you guys two more resources for finding YouTube videos. One is a resource called Youglish, and with Youglish, you can choose your language and then choose a word and hit enter, and it'll show you a bunch of YouTube videos that are in your target language that use the specific keyword that you put in. So let's say, you want to search for we'll stick to my Simón Bolívar. If I want to search for a video in Spanish that has the word Bolívar in it, I just search Bolívar into Youglish, and it'll show me a bunch of videos that have that. And then one more resource is called zerotohero.ca. And this has a bunch of different resources for hundreds of languages, more languages than we even have on Link. And you can find TV shows, you can find books, you can find YouTube videos. It has a very exhaustive list of resources for learning pretty much whatever language you want to learn. So that is that. Now, before we bring up John, our special guest today, I want to see if we have any more questions about importing content from YouTube and Netflix. So yeah, and just to reiterate, when you import a video from YouTube, you are going to get the video itself too. But with Netflix, we can't share the video. We can only import the subtitles. So that's a big difference between YouTube and Netflix, because with YouTube, you have the video, you have the audio. So after you create a lesson and you do the YouTube video, you can add the audio to your playlist to listen to it, on the way to work, while you're doing the dishes, whenever. Just pop in some headphones, or put on your Bluetooth speaker, and you can listen to the audio from the YouTube lessons in your playlist. And unfortunately, you cannot do with that. You can't do that with Netflix. So that is one advantage to using YouTube videos. And just a quick one more quick little tip with so you want to choose videos and Netflix series that are kind of in line with your level. So with Netflix series, it's going to be really hard to grasp things if you're a complete beginner. And for instance, this Netflix series that I'm watching, it's quite beyond where my level is. So what I'm doing is I'm watching a show, an episode once, and then I'm importing it into Link, and doing the Link, going through all the words that I don't know and learning them. And then once I have done that once, I'm going to watch the video again and see how much more I understand. So that's the approach that I take. If I had chosen a series at a lesser level, then I could, probably just watch it without doing the extensive linking and then watching it again. So, all right. So without further ado, I will bring up John.
Tommy, hello.
Hello, welcome, John.
How
John,
are you?
where are you? Where are you located?
Right now, I'm in Northern Ireland,
Northern
so
Ireland.
in the UK.
Okay, awesome. Belfast?
Yeah, near Belfast,
Near Belfast.
a place called Bangor. Um, quite close
Okay.
to Belfast. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome. It's glad to have you. So,
Thank you.
guys,
Thank you for having me on.
yeah, absolutely. John won the Czech 90-day language challenge in June. Are you still learning Czech, John?
Yes, Tommy, I am. I'm still going with the Czech.
Awesome.
I'm indeed. Well, actually, my goal in Czech is to be basically fluent. So now I'm maybe intermediate, but the end goal is to be fluent. I know that's a tricky word for some people, but I'm going to use it.
Yeah. So by fluent, you mean, yeah, I guess there's different levels. Like,
Yeah. Well, I say fluent because I know that the journey of learning the language will take a couple of years, and I need, I don't know, a lot of vocabulary, like a good accent, and all these different things. So I use the word fluent because it's not specific.
right.
So yeah. So
Awesome. So how did you, I'm curious, how did you get to learning Czech? Like, what brought you to the Czech language?
well, with my church here in Northern Ireland, we used to do these camps in the Czech Republic.
Okay.
And then, well, that's how my relationship was initially formed. And when I went there, it all sounded like gibberish, and I couldn't
Yeah.
understand a single word. And even the writing, they use the Latin alphabet, but they have accents and
Diacritic
hooks,
marks. Yeah.
yeah, on top of some of them. So it really looked quite different. So, and then of course I got a Czech girlfriend, which is a big motivation for learning Czech.
Absolutely.
I started with the Duolingo, and then about 2 years ago, I moved to the Czech Republic. I'm back in Northern Ireland just shortly now, but I'll be going back in January. And but so the 2 years ago, when I actually moved there, and I heard people really speaking, and it was nothing like what what my lessons in Duolingo had prepared me for, and it was a real shock. So then, yeah, that's when I really started to take my language learning seriously.
Yeah. And then that brought you to Link.
Yeah, so I was looking at a lot of ways of how to learn, because Duolingo just wasn't working, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was looking at different websites, different like methods even, and I came across Stephen Krashen's theory of like input, and Link is basically that, like it's
Utilizing
very
that.
input based.
Right.
Well, there's no output, just the nature of the website of Link is it's all input. So I was like, this is perfect. I started with the mini stories, and they were great. And then as I've been using Link more, it's kind of transitioned from audio and text to pretty much just text, and I use it to read novels. So right now I'm on the second book of Harry Potter.
Awesome.
In Czech, of course, and that's going well. But I'm excited about this Netflix and YouTube import that you were talking about, because it means I can listen again and read at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's good to have those two things together. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And then for those who are maybe not familiar with the mini stories, all our languages and Link have a bunch of mini stories, which are short stories that that are crafted to cover the basic patterns in the language. So, grammar patterns and things like possession and verb tenses and those sorts of things. The mini stories teach you that without you consciously focusing on that. So John said he started with the mini stories and then he worked his way to reading novels. That is awesome. Now, did you read Harry Potter in English first?
No, I didn't read it in English, but I've seen the films.
You've seen the films, so you're
Yeah,
familiar with the overall
I was
story
familiar
arc.
with this story, which is
Yeah,
kind of what I wanted when I
right.
was starting to read, because it was the first novel that I would read in Czech and any other foreign language for that matter. So I wanted to choose a story that I was somewhat familiar with instead of, launching straight into reading Czech literature that I
Right.
don't know anything about.
Right.
So I'm using the translated English books as a stepping stone to get
Yeah.
onto the real Czech material by natives and for natives. So
Yeah, I think that's a good approach. Because, for instance, I recently did a lesson in Latin, and after doing it, I had no
Latin,
idea. Yeah, in Latin, and it
that's
was.
good.
I mean, it was all I knew. I knew maybe like 2 words just from
Yeah.
Latin is used wherever. But after doing the lesson, I really wasn't sure if I comprehended, even after clicking everything. I wasn't really sure if I comprehended the general story arc. So having kind of a general idea of what the what the story is, what the theme is,
Yeah.
it makes that input more comprehensible.
hmm Yeah, that's definitely true, and you need that in the beginning. You definitely need as much support as possible in the beginning, because otherwise you just won't understand anything, like you said.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to hear like talk a little bit about um you know the language challenge that you did in June and how you were able to do so well with that.
Yeah, so the language challenge, I was kind of like, I had LingQ for a very long time, and I was kind of using it the same way every day. So I thought, what else is there to LingQ? And I tried to look for different things that could help me, things that I don't know about. And the 90-day challenge was one of them. And I saw, okay, I can sign up. I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I started, and the 90-day challenge has particular goals that you're meant to hit every day, or by the end of the challenge, rather.
Yep.
And I was on my way to doing it, like, fine, just completing the challenge by itself. But what really made me invest in the challenge a lot was the competition.
Yeah.
I'm kind of competitive, so when I see people edging me out on points, I'm like, I got to study harder. Which,
Right.
in my mind, anything that gets me to be passionate about the language and learning is good.
Absolutely.
Normally, I wouldn't. I don't really like the idea of comparing yourself to other people, especially in learning a language. But the 90-day challenge was good because it made it a bit more of a game, and I think it made it more fun in my mind.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that there's like it's definitely whatever motivates you to be more successful and
Right.
put more effort into the learning, that's great. Unless of course you kind of cheat and I mean you might okay, in order to get this, I'm gonna create a bunch of LingQs even if I
Yeah.
or create a bunch of known words even if I don't know them. So and I don't think many people do that. I don't think the winning the challenge, you're not getting
It
money from
defeats
it,
the purpose of the
Right,
challenge.
right,
Right.
right.
It's like when you win the 90-day challenge, you don't get any prize. Well, maybe coming onto a live stream and talking
In,
about it.
internal satisfaction.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
the chances are, I mean, I'd imagine you made pretty good strides in your Czech.
I
Um,
did.
yeah,
I did actually. Yeah, it started with me wanting to win the challenge, which
yeah,
I'm competitive over like small stupid things, but it started, oh, I want to win this challenge. But it meant I was reading like an hour a day,
right.
which was a lot. I think, and this is an hour of intense immersion, basically.
Right.
Like
Not
kind
an
of,
hour of, you know, light reading in your native language. It's hour of, okay,
yeah,
I'm really focusing here.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So it meant I was making a lot of links and a lot of known words, and I honestly I think my comprehension jumped doing this challenge, or basically doing an hour of intense reading every day for 90 days. I saw a noticeable improvement, which doesn't happen often, even when I do work very hard. But after this one, I definitely saw a big jump.
Mm-hmm. So you said now you're on the second Harry Potter book,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and
the Chamber of Secrets.
mhm.
I've never read it in English, so I was struggling to remember what the actual name in
Right,
English was.
you just know the name in Czech.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the second one, the first, and the reason why I started into the novels. Actually, I wanted to watch the live stream about the novels, reading
Mhm.
novels for in LingQ. But I'm assuming they said something along the lines of, if you choose a series of books, Harry Potter, for example, it's really good. Like Stephen Krashen, again, to mention Stephen Krashen, he said something about narrow reading, which is not like trying to
Narrow
live.
reading.
Yeah, narrow reading, and it's basically going into one, basically author's work, for example, or
Okay.
one series,
Yeah, yeah.
and kind of like not exhausting, but exhausting that kind of domain.
Right, right,
So
right.
instead of trying to pick, like before, I was kind of like, oh, if I want to be fluent one day, and I was trying to bring everything up at the same time, like politics and sports and technology and all these things that I know about now. Like I need to know about it in Czech at some point. So I was trying to do it all at the same time,
Yeah.
which was a bit confusing. But
Mhm.
Stephen Krashen, his theory is, if you spend time doing one thing, like Harry Potter, it's a bit useless in the real world knowing about Harry Potter, but it means once you know it very well, or at least once you can understand it very well, it means it's way easier to branch off into
Right.
other things
Right,
instead
right,
of
right.
trying to do everything at the same time.
Right. Because chances are, if you focus on a single topic or a single author or a single series, um, then you're going to be exposed to all the kind of high frequency words.
Yeah,
Whereas if you're if you're jumping from topic to topic, then you might not get those core words in. So
yeah. And it was a little bit discouraging. Like when you do jump from topic, well, on Link, you see what you don't know because it's
right,
all
right,
blue
right,
words.
right.
Okay, I did this about politics. Let's go look at this. And it was all blue words. Again, I was like, how much
Everything's
do I
blue.
not know?
Right.
But the first book of Harry Potter was kind of all blue. And then going into the second one, there's like far less blue new words. There's still quite a lot actually, and I'm still learning. But it's way easy. It's a bit more like reading in my native language, because it's like there's a lot of words that I do know, and a lot. It's the same people, it's the same relationships,
Right.
and it's just, yeah, it makes it far more comprehensible. But I feel like I'm still learning.
So how long did it take you to get to that point of in Czech to where it felt more like your native language?
Um, well, just after the first book, and Tommy, to be honest, if I tried to read literally anything else, I'm sure I would feel like a beginner again.
Okay.
But books that are related, or these things that are about the same topic, it's yeah, once you kind of exhaust one avenue, you can go down another one,
Right.
if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, totally makes sense. Just gonna check the chat here. So someone
Check
got
if
a
there's
couple.
anybody still listening.
No, there's plenty of people. So let's see. We got a couple people asking about, can you do multiple languages at the same time on Link? So the answer is yes. You can do as many languages as we have languages. Yeah, I mean, so I'll go ahead and share my screen again. Um, so I'm here logged into Link, and I can just click here on the little flag icon, the drop down menu, just click a new language, and yeah, you can, I mean, you can study as many languages as you want. So I am really focusing on Spanish right now. But I also did last week I did one lesson in Latin, and Latin and Spanish are quite related. So I like that. I would eventually like to learn all the Romance languages. So I think learning Latin would be a good idea here. So answer is yes, you can do as many languages as you want on Link. And someone else asked, can I import Netflix on my phone? I have never watched Netflix on a mobile device, so I don't know, but you should be able to. Whether if you're in a browser on watching Netflix on a browser, then you can just share. It's this the same thing works as on YouTube. You just click the share icon and then choose link to share it to. And if Netflix, I'm not sure if Netflix has a mobile app, but yeah. So if you're watching Netflix on your phone on a browser, then definitely yes. So okay. All right. So John, are you doing a language challenge now?
Um, yes, actually, I am. I think it's another 90-day challenge
How are you
to
doing?
keep that motivation high. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So so John was the champion of the Czech 90-day challenge. Did you also do the hardcore challenge?
I think I did. I think I saw the challenge pages, and I kind of just signed up for for
All
every
of them.
one, so I could
Sure.
do them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome. And
what is the hardcore challenge exactly? I did participate, but I can't remember. Is it
yeah,
just?
that's a good question. So I'm gonna share my screen again and go to the challenges. So yeah, the regular 90-day challenge, you basically just have to hit one target, and that is links. Or I'm sorry, it's just coins. So open up the 90-day challenge here. So for the regular 90-day challenge, you just have one target, and that's coins, and you can hit that target with creating links, creating known words, with listening, and with reading. All of those will contribute towards your coins target. Now, with the hardcore challenge, you have 5 different targets to hit. So I'll open up the Spanish hardcore challenge. So instead of just having the coins target, which can be, you can win coins through many different ways, but you only have one target. With the hardcore challenge, there's 5 different targets that you have to hit. So you have to hit your target in known words. You have to hit your target in links. You have to hit your target in links learned, which is when you take a word from a link to a known word. That's links learned. You got to hit your target in hours of listening and in words of reading. So it's much more granular than much more complex. Got 5 targets to hit instead of just one target. So yeah, I mean in the hardcore Spanish challenge, I've already hit my coins target, and with this hardcore challenge, so we're a little over a month in, so we're a little over a third of the way. I am less than a third of the way for my listening and links learned. So in order to hit that, I gotta step up my game. So does that make sense, John?
Yeah, it does. It does. I wouldn't feel too bad about being 11th, Tommy, because I think a lot of people are learning Spanish on
Yeah,
LingQ,
let's
right?
see. Yeah, I mean, we got
Oh,
84
yeah. There's a
people
lot.
on the on the hardcore challenge. Yeah, I mean, it's motivating for me to see like how successful some of these people are. We got a lot of users that put in a lot of hard work into this. So I'm gonna open up your the challenge that you won here. Let's check that out.
Oh no, people will realize there's only four participants.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna open up check. Yeah, I mean there's 7 participants, but you got 57,000 coins. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there was this guy who came second and third. Actually, they were scaring me, so I really bumped my time up on LingQ.
Yeah, you saw them chasing, so you stepped it up.
Yeah, that's right. And it was like I like competition, like a friendly competition, as much as the next guy. And I think it's nice because these people had loads of coins, and I didn't realize you could do link for, like, before I was kind of like doing maybe my 50 or whatever links a day,
Mm-hmm.
and it was good. But when I see these people who spend like an hour on LingQ every day, I'm like, hey, that's possible. Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
So it's motivating. It's motivating to see how invested other people are.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, if this guy can do it, I can step up my game too.
So how did you do that when you saw, okay, these guys are really putting in a lot of time here? How did you kind of fit that into your schedule?
Well, I always spent like a good amount of time on learning Czech, just not so
Mm-hmm.
much reading. Like I would watch
Okay.
videos, and well, there's not much on Netflix that's in Czech, but Česká televize, the Czech TV, I would watch that. Kind of more passive. So Link, you can't do anything else when you're doing Link. You have to click on the words. You have to, do I understand this or not?
Right.
So yeah, I kind of just bumped the time up from like maybe 20 minutes per day to an hour per day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that much. Like if you think, how many hours do I need to spend to become fluent? And it's like, okay, if I do 1 hour a day, that's 7 a week. That's not very much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when I started to think about it like that, I was like, okay, we can up those hours and see where the limit is. The first day of the challenge, I was like, I gotta step my game up. The first day, I think I did maybe like 600 links, and that's because I don't know why that was. I was crazy the first day, and then it kind of tapered off after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I still kept the time on Link with the language quite high.
Yeah, and I mean that's inevitably gonna happen. Like you're gonna have highs and lows. And what's awesome in Link, you can get a very clear visual representation of your activity over time. So if I go here, I'm here in statistics, and you can change this by the time. So I'm going to open up my profile here, and I can see in Spanish over the past 7 days how many known words I've created, and I can switch this to links created. So I can look, okay, the past 3 months, this is what I've done. So again, it's just a clear visual representation, and especially as you kind of go from beginner to intermediate, it can feel like you're kind of plateauing. But with LingQ, you get a very clear representation that the work you're putting in is paying off in terms of the new words you're coming across and the words that you're learning in general. So, okay. Will this Zoom session be available to watch later? Yes, Yuri. You can watch this on YouTube and Facebook. It may take some minutes or hours to load after we're done, but it is being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. How do you count listening hours on LingQ? So if you're doing a lesson that has audio in it, LingQ will automatically count the listening hours. And if you're listening to your playlist, so if I go over here and I go into my playlist and I listen to this, LingQ will automatically count the listening time you do towards your hours. And you could also manually add in listening hours. So if you're watching a video not on LingQ, or if you're listening to something not on LingQ, you can manually add time spent listening in your target language. You can manually add time spent reading outside of LingQ, and you can manually add writing and speaking. So it's a good way to kind of track your overall activity. So I know some people have goals like, okay, I want to spend 1 hour per week listening, 1 hour per week speaking, those sorts of things. You can manually add those on LingQ. All right, so we got a question from Stephen on Zoom. Translations in LingQ are from members, not dictionaries. It's both. So you can we have in every language links to you can click to a dictionary to find translations, but there are also translations from other users. So it'll basically show you the most popular translations for that particular word based on how many users use that translation. And most of those translations come from dictionaries. And yes, I hope the Firefox link, we'll have that fixed soon. I can't tell you when, but we are actively working on it. So for those on Firefox, I'm very sorry for that. And one more question about the challenge. Will there be new challenges as the current ones come to end on December 1st? Yes, the answer is yes. There are new challenges every month. So the October challenge just started, and you can join the November challenge coming up at the end of October. That'll start November 1st and go till the end of January. So every month we have new challenges starting up. But you can join, you can still join the October challenge. You can still join the September challenge. I'm sorry, no, you can't join the September challenge, but you can still join the October challenge up until the end of October. And yes, it is possible to import from Amazon Prime, YouTube, Disney, anywhere, any videos with closed caption subtitles, you can import, and any web page, almost all web pages with text. Now, some web pages have some weird coding going on that isn't compatible, but most web pages. And another question, is it possible to import a specific novel in the language you are learning? Is there any copyright issues? So John, do you want to speak to importing novels quickly?
Yeah. Basically, if you have a PDF of any novel, you can import it to LingQ. But I think, Tommy, as you said earlier about Netflix, you can't make it public.
Right.
So I have Harry Potter on my LingQ, but I don't think I can make that public because of copyright issues.
Yep.
But yeah, if you can find the PDF somewhere, you can buy it or whatever. if you have the PDF, then you can basically just load it onto your link. But
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you can share it.
Yeah. And if you have an ebook on a different kind of reader, let's say a Amazon Kindle, and not a PDF, there is some roundabout ways to convert it. And if you search Link ebook or go into the Link forum, and there's a bunch of there's resources on how to convert. You have to do some converting of the files to be able to upload it into Link, if you don't have an ebook, or I'm sorry, if you don't have a PDF. But since you bought it and you're not sharing it with everyone, you can. It's not breaking the law to convert it and upload it into Link. You just can't share it with other people. So that is that. Now so we're coming up on the end of the hour here, guys. If you have any more questions for John, do let me know. I think yeah, I love the competitive spirit, and keeping up with the challenge. I mean, I have yet to read a novel in Spanish. So I tried to read a short story that I read in English in university, and I tried to read the Spanish version, but it was a little beyond my level. So I'm working towards that.
Yeah. A little warning is that when you do start a novel, or basically any novel, there's going to be a lot of words that you will probably never have to use. Like there's a lot of florid language in most novels that you just don't use every day. Like a writer has to use different ways of saying said. He can't just say said Harry, said Hermione, said Ron every single time. Like as an example, they'll be like screeched or yelled or bellowed. So yeah, that's it. But I would recommend finding something that's got a lot of dialogue in it, like maybe a novel that has a lot of dialogue, or perhaps even a play. But yeah, just a little thing.
Yeah, thanks. That's a good tip there. Well, all right, guys. So we're coming up on the end of the hour, and my computer is about to die. I'm not near a charger here. So thank you everybody on Zoom, YouTube, Facebook for joining us. And thank you, John, for joining us and sharing your experience learning Czech on
Thank
Link.
you, Tommy. Hi, Radka. I know she's watching. But thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, glad to have you, and good luck with learning Czech, and I hope you can impress your girlfriend's parents very soon.
Thank you. I'll need it. I'll need all the luck I can get. Thank you.
All righty. Thanks, John, and thanks everybody. If we didn't get to your question, I'm very sorry. You can always reach out to me at thomas@link.com or support@link.com, and we'll be able to help you out. And if you ever have any suggestions for future live streams, topics that you want to cover, leave a comment on the YouTube, Facebook, or again, message us. You can write a thread in the Link forum on content that you want covered, or any questions that you might have on Link. And again, pretty much any issue you might be experiencing with Link or with language learning in general, a question you want answered, the chances are that somebody in our community, we have over 1 million people in our community. If you're experiencing a problem, chances are someone there has been through that before and can provide you an answer, or there might already be an answer up there. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining. This was the week 6 of the live stream series for the September 90-day challenge. And next week, we'll have another champion of language challenge on. So thank you, everybody. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And good luck with your language learning. Thanks.